College football and the CrossFit Games. They are screwing things up the exact same way. Let's talk about it next.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime. What's going on, everybody?
You want me to record it for you? I can.
No, I'll do it. I have some ideas, so I want to combine it together with something else.
I just like giving you shit about it because you do it every single day, and then every day you go, I really need to record that.
So all my recording stuff is in my basement. I live my life upstairs, right? Like
100%.
So it's not something that I think about. And when I think about it, and I'm at my laptop, I don't have my mic to be able to do. You know, like it's just inconvenient. But anyway, so Phil the Pooper wants to know where your plaid is.
So, like I told you earlier, we were Scott and I were texting back and forth after Sevan just fucking laid into me, which was hilarious, by the way. I actually probably do own about 6 different flannel shirts or flannel print shirts. They're not actual flannel shirts, but it's not cold enough down here to warrant actual flannel. It's just not.
Trish doesn't like rap. Well,
that's fine.
That's our theme song. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Mute us for 30 seconds.
Be fine. That beat goes hard. Whatever that song is, I love the how it starts off. It's awesome.
I have a little riff to start today. So I'm watching Sevan, and because I do a daily show, like I can empathize with the man in doing a daily show. Mine is 45 minutes to an hour. His is 2 hours. How the hell he goes? And I'm just giving an average, right? Because sometimes it's hour 45, sometimes it's 2:30, sometimes, whatever, right?
He's going 3+ before.
Right, but that's more the exception than the rule. But regardless, it has nothing to do with this story.
Yeah.
So I know going into today's show, his plan was to do the Dave Castro Week in Review. And when he opened it up and saw it was only 5 minutes long, he was shitting his pants because now all the content that he had kind of like drummed up for the day to do his show is now down to nothing. And how does he make it stretch? Right? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yep.
And in no way am I comparing myself to him, but like I know what it's like to do a daily show now. In the chat, people are like, he's trying to stretch something, and people are like, let's move on. Let's move on. And I'm thinking, like, shut the hell up. Man is trying to stretch this out. He's trying to stretch this out. And then by the end of the show, he's like, well, that's all I got for today. And people are like, don't go. Don't go. Can you make up your damn minds?
It's a bunch of 4-year-olds.
It's ridiculous. Everybody is in the chat directing the man that's been doing this every day for 4 years or 5 years or whatever it is, right? Telling him when to move on, when to go to the next subject, when not to leave, when to what the hell?
I love the move on stuff because everyone's like, move on to what? What do you want me to move on to? I don't have anything to move on to. That's why we're still talking about this.
Right. There's only so much to talk about, right? And we try to fill whatever little piece we can.
And let's talk about the fact that he's not even home.
No, he's on vacation.
Still doing this show. Right, y'all, leave the man alone. Jesus Christ.
Jenny's got it. Right now, spoiled children.
100%. 100%.
And this
not even close.
this is probably the piece that's going to piss people off, right? He had the balls to start a show and do this, right? That gives him like the advantage to do it the way he wants to do it. He put this together. Now, do you take constructive criticism at times? Sure you do. But nobody else started a freaking show. And not only has he started his own show, he's allowed other people to start shows on his channel with an existing audience.
Gave them the keys.
And then you sit in the chat and tell him what to do.
The audacity.
It is mind-boggling to me that you can sit there and you didn't take the initiative to start your own show. He did. And then you tell him how to do it. And I don't get that. I mean, I have gotten that here, but I don't get it as much as he does because I only go 45 minutes.
Right.
He goes 2 hours. And I just sit there like, exactly, these spoiled children who have a show and a place to hang out and chat with their friends every day. And you're going to tell him how to run his show.
And an entertaining show. It's not like he's just getting on there and he says whatever comes across his brain, like 9 times out of 10. It doesn't matter. If it runs across the front of his mind, he's just going to throw it out there. Like, he doesn't much give a shit. Go Tigers. Oh, Yosh. Yes, indeed.
I haven't seen Yosh in forever.
No, sir.
Meredith, yeah, but Scott, you're doing this in addition to your regular 9 to 5, so give yourself some credit. This is your lunch break and you're dealing with technical difficulties, etc. Yeah, but I signed up for it and I'm cool with that. And you guys generally, this chat that we have at lunch, do not tell me how to run my show. But man, the people in the Sevan chat feel like they're entitled to tell him how to run his show, and it absolutely boggles my mind. So we don't need to those 2-lane versus no lane shirts are gold. I have not seen those. Well, that is that's crazy.
That's outstanding. I'm not a Tulane fan, even though they're right there in New Orleans. But if I'm pulling for a team, I'm definitely pulling for Tulane to pull the upset over Ole Miss. That's going to be a fantastic game to watch.
Yeah. Dense, a couple of them have obvious mental illness. And now Trish is telling me what to do.
Move on, Scott.
So I started this off with like college football and CrossFit are both making the same mistake. We've heard this whole debate all week, if you follow sports at all, that the college football playoff did not get the 12 best teams into the college football playoff. And the reason that is because they had to make a deal to get everybody to sign off on a college football playoff and go away from the bowl system that existed. And to do that, you had to get the sign off from these smaller, and they call them like group of 5 schools or something like that.
Group 4.
I don't even know what that means. No, there's the Power 4.
Yeah.
And then you have the group of 5, which are like the Sun Belt Conference and the ones that aren't
the AAC, the SWAC, yeah, whatever.
So because of that and the deal they made, we have James Madison and Tulane in the college football playoff, and they're not one of the 12 best schools in the country. Right.
Arguably, I would put Tulane over James Madison, but
Tulane lost to Ole Miss by 35 points already this year, and now they've got to play him again. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. James Madison. So I know way more about James Madison than I probably should, because the last wedding I was a part of, I was best man for one of my best friends. The day he got married, we're up in the hotel room getting ready and whatnot, and the only football game on TV was whatever conference championship was going on at the time, James Madison was playing in and was winning. And they have a winning program, like for whatever division they're in, whether it's Division 2 or whatever. I don't remember. I just remember that it was on. So like we've been keeping up with them ever since because it was on Tony's wedding day that we happened to see it. And so like when I saw that they were possibly going to make it into the college football playoffs, I'm like, this is amazing. This is James Madison that we've been following forever. No, I understand that. I know what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you on that particular fact. I'm just saying that I know way more about them than I should.
So my team sucked this year. I have no rooting interest on anybody. So what I want to see is the best 12 go at it for the national championship, the best games possible, because I don't care about any of these teams, right? What we do in CrossFit is the same damn thing. There's this thing where we don't have the 40 best or 30 best now going to the CrossFit Games because we want to include Africa and we want to include South America and we want to include Asia. Now, Asia is starting to develop where their women are actually competitive with the rest of the world. And then that is the way it should work out. You should strive to be something better, right? But because we are trying to appease the world and the globalness of CrossFit, we want to be inclusive and let everybody into the games. And when you do that, just like in the college football playoff, you don't get the best athletes at the venue at the same time, right? So we have 30 people coming to the games, but they're not the 30 best athletes in the world.
They're not necessarily the 30 best athletes in the world. No, you're absolutely right. As long as you are
not the 30 best athletes in the world.
As long as you are forcing the hand from places like, sorry to say it, South Africa, some places in Brazil, South America, whatever you want to call it, then yeah. As long as you keep forcing those guys in there, then no, you're not getting the top 30 guys on the top 30 females on the planet. You're just not. You're getting the top people from those competitions, like from those particular semifinals, but that doesn't mean that they're the top 30 in the world. No, absolutely not.
So I'm gonna extrapolate that to what Dave said in his week in review, which was super, super short, is that the masters and the teens and the adaptive are going to be at the CrossFit Games, and it's probably not going to be that way going forward. It's probably just for the 20th anniversary. Again, I think that there is this thing in CrossFit that they want to go global with the games. And because to go global, they have to be smaller and move. I think they are missing out on getting the best event possible with a festival feel every year at the games. They are foregoing the best event to be able to go global.
I think that's a miss. I think you're right, and I think that's a miss. Why not just put on the best event you possibly can? Let people that are going to bitch because they're gonna bitch for no matter what happens, right? And what is the effect of them bitching? What's the net event or net sum, whatever you want to call it, of them bitching? Just that they're mad about it on social media? Okay, who cares? Move on. If you know you're putting out the absolute best product and the best show that you possibly could on, where maybe not every race matters because not everyone's going to just because of how they're laid out, but as long as the vast majority of them where every heat matters, God help me, I'm going to go ahead and quote it, every second counts, then that's going to take, the other parts are going to take care of themselves. You know what I mean? If you put out the best product you possibly can, people are going to come to it no matter what it is. And the haters are going to hate and they're going to fall off and nobody's going to care.
So let's go back to the 2009 games when we first went to the home StubHub Center, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, the people at CrossFit have said they tried to expand. They expanded too soon.
Right.
They got too big and it's something probably had to do with Reebok money. They had the money to do it. They grew and then it did actually start taking off. But I think that that's what we're doing again with this global thought of going over to Europe or going to Australia for the CrossFit Games is we're not ready. We haven't figured it out yet. Why are we pushing to move overseas until we get it right? We had low attendance at the CrossFit Games last year. There are a million factors why that could have been. The vibes were cool. Everybody had a good time, but truth be told, tons of empty seats.
Right.
Shouldn't we figure that shit out first before we worry about going overseas? And I think the first solution to that is having 400 masters athletes come in with their families for the same week and are probably going to be bored and buy tickets.
I am super curious. I can't wait till tickets go on sale and to see what that ends up looking like from the reason you just said, just because we're all going to be in the same place. Masters, teens, adaptive, elites, everybody's in the same spot. So let's see what that does for ticket sales for the main show, right? I have no illusions. People are going there for the main show. But the people like me who could potentially be there to compete, if I make the games and they're all in the same week, I'm staying and watching the games. I've never been. So like, what better time for me to stay and watch the rest of them is if I happen to be right there already. Why wouldn't I stay? Like it goes from being a 5 day, I gotta do add 4 days to my Airbnb or 3 days to my Airbnb. It's really not that much, and just change a flight. Gotta pay for some more food.
Well, truth be told, I booked my hotel for Wednesday through Monday.
Yeah.
I only have to really go a day or two more.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
get it all in.
That's a week vacation. That's a vacation time I would take anyway.
There's a lot of people who disagree with me. So Kevin Doyle, they want to maintain all the affiliates in Asia. If no Asian athletes make it to the games, could that affect the amount of affiliates in those regions? I don't think they have a problem with Asia. I think that the Asian women are getting strong enough where they can compete with the European women and the Australian women. And I think that they're going to make it regardless. Sheng-Young Choi and Zhang Young are getting as good as anybody in Europe.
100%.
And
if it's going anywhere,
qualified out of Europe last year, not Asia.
And if you're going anywhere, you're going to Europe before you're going to Asia.
I mean, attendance is going to be higher internationally, but I think that, Lito, with all due respect, and I get it, that there isn't as many big events in Europe. So if you take it over there for the immediate return, there will be a higher attendance. I believe you're right. But is it disguising that the problem that we have about attracting people all of the time? And I think that is the biggest issue. We have not figured out how to put this thing together to attract the most people at the same time.
No.
And that has to be figured out. I do think you're right. But Rogue Year 1 sold way more tickets than Rogue Year 2. Because it was the first time a major competition went to Europe. The first year it sold out quickly. Second year, there were still seats available right up until game time.
The novelty wears off after the first year.
European and Australian events are very well attended because the games are not there.
Yeah.
Because the European semifinals are their big event. The Australian semifinal is the big event. That's why they draw.
Yeah, that's what makes it a big deal.
And Frida, who's European as well, logistics would be a nightmare. And then you're talking the overhead of that logistical nightmare on top of everything else.
I mean, you saw that interview with Katie just talking about that, the stuff that they can pull from their warehouse over there, but they also have to ship across the freaking ocean. It's a lot.
Yeah. And they have to make sure it gets there.
Correct.
Like,
Which
he
is
was
also is a
bullets
logistical
waiting
nightmare.
for the ships to dock.
Yeah. It's not 18-wheelers driving on, public highways in America. It's a ship at sea getting across the freaking ocean. Customs. I mean, it's the list goes on and on.
Did the games ever have a problem with attendance before 2024? They really didn't. They sold out every year until 2024. And 2024 was pretty packed even with what happened.
I would say people were excited. Probably, I say excited, probably a mixed bag as far as emotions are concerned, but moving from Madison going to Texas. But it was still, like you said, like tickets were very hard to come by right up until the first event, and then I had
the biggest indicator about Texas is the night in the football stadium had like 16,000 people. That is the biggest crowd to watch a CrossFit event ever.
And they were running.
Right. But it was a very cool event and it was free to the public. Yeah. So you got people to come in, but there were 16,000 people there that wanted to see it.
That's a lot.
Mark Phillips says adding in local laws, etc. It's not an easy thing. Right. And I'm not saying never go to Europe. I'm saying get your damn ducks in a row before you do it.
It's almost as if you wanted to put the horse in front of the cart and not the other way around. I don't disagree whatsoever. Like, get your shit together and make sure that what you have is what you actually want to have, which you need to know what you want to have before you can do that. Look at it, have all the pieces in place. And this year is probably not going to be a good indicator because this year is the 20-year anniversary, and they're going back to California, and you know what I'm saying. And we're doing the festival feel, so like all these people are going to be back in the same spot, and this is going to be an outlier year as far as attendance, from what I can see, or from what they're talking about, just because of that. Because everything's going to be in the same place. Everybody's going to be in the same place, right? The novelty. Hey, I went to the 20-year anniversary of the games. It was awesome. The year after that is really going to be a litmus test to see, like, especially if they're putting us all back, putting Pitt at the Pit, putting us back in Columbus or wherever they're going to put us at. That's really going to be your test.
Period. Of people having to choose: am I going to Pitt? Am I going to Columbus? Am I going to Vegas? Am I going to the games? Because people aren't going to go to all of them.
No.
But when you put them all together, everybody convenes in one area, and then you have this big festival feel with a much better attendance. That has to be figured out. And I think it's short-sighted to say it's not going to happen again. You can still let the other. And if just do it in the same city, it doesn't need to be in the same arena. Just do it in the same city in the same week. And you're just drawing everybody to the same area to do things.
Well, that's the other thing. It just don't annoy me about the people that, not complain, but just point out the fact that a lot of these events are very well attended. Well, there's a shit ton of them. This year alone, there's going to be in the U.S., there's going to be Legends, there's going to be Mayhem, there's going to be Knoxville.
Syndicate
Crown, right? Northern California Classic. That's just semifinals. That's not also PFX and Wadapalooza and whatnot that people are going to go compete at, go watch. And then there's the games. And then there's all these other mid to higher tier events that people can go and either compete at, or, the Heart of America, the Monster Games, MFC. Like, you wonder why people don't, the attendance is down, is because everybody's not made of money. Like, I can't go to all of these things. I would love to be able to, but it's hard to attend when there's 40 different things going on and you have to kind of pick and choose. I would love to be able to give the games my money every single year, but if I'm also going to compete and get a competition experience to go somewhere else, then what's going to end up suffering is me being able to go to the games in person.
Lido, selfishly, I'm hoping it doesn't sell out immediately, because if I qualify in May and go all the way to Cali but can't get into the arena to watch the elites, I'll be very upset. Well,
yeah,
I hope that that's not true, Lido, because if it sells out, it only means good things for you as an athlete, as a Masters athlete. It's going to trickle down. The success of that is going to trickle down. You want that to happen.
I think what she's saying is that she's not buying tickets for the games until she knows if she's qualifying, and if it doesn't sell out, then
available.
I'm just telling you,
it may sell out, but people sell tickets right up until the games.
Yeah,
you can get it. And Jenny says, Lido, no. Denise, even if I don't qualify for the games, I believe I will be attending to spectate. Shanna, Lido, in the past, they've held back tickets for athletes to buy. That is a great point as well.
And that's cool, right? That's awesome for them to be that thoughtful or aware of it and say, hey, we're going to hold off, keep some of these tickets back just in case people, other athletes, Masters athletes, teens, whoever want to buy them. That's fantastic.
Frida, that should be a part of your registration as a master. I do believe you get they do hold back tickets for you to purchase. Jenny, Dickey sold out in like 2 hours. I don't think SAP will sell out, but I hope it does with all the OG California CrossFitters. I hope it does too. Like, I think just with everybody there, people are going to plan for that week. And I think you're going to see a much more significant purchase of tickets than you did in Albany, New York.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
George says SAP holds 17 plus. It ain't selling out. Oh, you don't know what the configuration of the seats are. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what the number is. But
you know what? I hope it does.
If they sell out 17,000 tickets, we're getting into a good place.
They sell 17,000 tickets. They're gonna look to get it again next year, because that to them that's gonna say this is the spot to have it, right? If it's that plus everything runs smoothly and the events look nice.
I think as long as you put it in a place where there's stuff to do. Albany had nothing to do.
Right.
There was nothing to do in Albany. So if you were going, you were just going there for the games. I have talked to my wife about if we go out to California, maybe we go to Sonoma or we go to Wine Country or whatever and do some things a little bit that week. I think that would be super cool. And so we're planning it as if I go or when I go this year, it'd be more of a vacation for us than just me doing the media thing.
Absolutely. I mean, you could go talk to homeless people in Albany. Hiller did.
There's homeless people everywhere, dude.
I know, but Hiller actually stopped and interviewed him. That was fantastic.
Shanna, would be fun if we could buy out a Clydesdale section and sit together. That would be awesome. Madison was 15 and sold out.
Yo.
Yeah, Ken, Madison 22 sold out too when we went. Madison was always like the stands were full. All the years I was there, it was full in the arena. Even 21, right after COVID, it was packed. It may not have sold out, but it was pretty damn full. 22, it was all the way to the ceiling.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I want to go eventually, but got other priorities first. So,
if they sell 9K, they'll configure it to sell more. I hope it sells out based on my gym's interest. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, that's a micro look at things. We need to see the macro.
Yeah, because based on my gyms as well, like I can think of 4 people that would want to go from my gym. Maybe more than that if you actually ask them, like talk to them about, hey, we're all going to the games. Do y'all want to come? Like make it a group trip. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. But As of like, if I just went in there today, right now at lunchtime, be like, who wants to go to the CrossFit Games? And people would be like, the what?
Yeah,
Never
but
mind.
if you qualified for the games,
Yeah,
that interest would go up.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what we don't even know that yet. We don't know who's going. That's the part that you have to wait and kind of see to judge.
If I qualified, I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 15 people off the top of my head that would go from my gym just to come watch me.
And that's the piece you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen. We talked about this, 2 weeks ago and into this week. Ethan Bernard.
That dude.
Went to Mayhem, did a CrossFit workout. CrossFit was there to tape it. And they put it out yesterday. I watched it right after the show yesterday. I will say for me, it was very emotional for me to watch this. As someone who walked into a CrossFit gym over 500 pounds, and the care and the love and the support that my affiliate gave me, to watch what they did with this guy was amazing. I sobbed like a baby at the beginning of this video, so I'm not going to show any of it and do that on the air today. It was like looking in a mirror for me.
Yeah.
At very much what happened in 2011 for me.
Except you got way better hair. God bless that kid. He needs a brush.
And then there was a part in here that really hit me that I didn't even know was coming. And that is, they asked him about, he's done this very publicly and he's gained a ton of followers on Instagram and YouTube. And they asked him what it was like being an influencer going through all this thing. And he was talking about the added stress that adds.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked me why I don't do the weight loss show anymore. And that's really a big reason why. The additional stress it gave me was not the accountability I needed to be successful. And it got to a point where it was more than I could handle in the state that I was in. And so when he talks about that, I'm rooting for him, and I hope that he can get through this, and that doesn't bring him down at any point. But the internet can be cruel.
100%.
And but his story is awesome. He's already lost 200 pounds. He started at 660. He's at 457, I believe. And it's a really cool story. And I loved the way they showed how Josh Malone from Mayhem, how he doesn't like to use the word scaled because it means less than, that he modifies the workout for him to do the same stimulus. And they showed how they did that. And what was freaky is the same techniques that were used with me on my first workout were used with him in this workout. And it was really cool to kind of see that. It was eerie to see the squats on a box, the push-ups on a barbell, on the rack, all the same stuff that was done with me. It was really, really crazy.
I love it. Absolutely love it. It's almost as if CrossFit is infinitely modifiable, scalable to your ability level. Such a weird concept.
Lito asked, do we think he continues to do CrossFit? He has a personal trainer that he is being successful with. Do I think that this experience gives him more tools in the tool belt? Maybe. Do I think he ends up joining an affiliate? I don't see that happening.
I would have to go watch the whole thing. I just saw a clip yesterday. I didn't see that. I didn't watch the video on CrossFit's YouTube.
Well, he talks about how he works with his personal trainer and they do circuits. None of them were as intense as what he experienced in this hour in the gym.
Never gonna be.
But like when you have a relationship with a personal coach and you've been successful, I don't see him just like ditching that to all of a sudden jump to CrossFit. but I could be wrong.
I hope, I'll put it to you like this. If it's working for him, then whatever it is, I just hope he sticks to it. Because his life is worth saving, and if it's worth taking his life into his own hands to save his own life, because that's what he's doing. Same thing you did.
And who am I? As long as he's moving well and doing it in a way that is successful, why would we want him to change? But I do believe that, like, going into a CrossFit and the learning tools that he got from that experience, he may take back to his personal trainer. They may talk about things about how it was different in these ways, and maybe they incorporate that into what he's doing. And maybe that does lead down the road into something into CrossFit as a maintenance piece or whatever. But
just one day, dude, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but if you just take one class with a good coach, right? Doesn't matter what the workout is. One class with a good coach, especially if you're somewhere like Mayhem that's got a good environment around you, right? Not just a bunch of people who are just gonna look at you sideways and wonder why you're in here. And you decide never to go again, you're never gonna forget it, right? If you get it, you go in there with good intentions and whatnot, you're never gonna forget it. You're gonna take something away from it, no matter what it is. You're gonna take something away like, holy shit, that was hard, or man, that was awesome, I want to do that again. Or I learned, hey, I am more capable than I thought I was. I just, at what you said, he lost 220, so he's at like 480 right now, something like that.
Just over 200. He's like at 457.
Yeah. Even at 457 pounds or whatever, I could do a CrossFit class, right? No matter what kind of craziness I've heard about here, there, or yonder, all that's going to stick with you for the long run. So even if he doesn't come back to CrossFit, if he just stays working with his personal trainer, good for him. That's amazing.
Lito, that's what I thought too, Scott. Great video though. Ken Walters, they shouldn't be saying scaled is less than, but what Corey just said is how they should promote what he's doing. This was Josh off to the side talking to the documentary people, saying that he doesn't like to use the word scaled. He likes to use modified because some people feel scaled is less than. It wasn't like he was saying it's being scaled is less than.
No.
He was explaining why his word choice is the way it is. And it's you have to be careful with word choices when you're talking to someone who is going through the emotional roller coaster of a massive weight loss.
So I'm gonna tell you from experience and just coaching, a good coach, which I think of myself as a pretty good coach, you learn how to talk to people. And by how to talk to people, I mean I know how to talk to Scott versus how to talk to Kat. What motivates Kat versus what's going to get Scott moving. How to approach, like I got people that I know I have to treat with kid gloves for all intents and purposes. I know the people that I can tell, hey, quit being a pussy and let's go. Like, and that comes with experience, obviously, and being able to read people a little bit. But I know people that would get offended if I tell them, let's scale it to this, as opposed to, okay, well, if you can't do this, let's modify it to this. And you have to know that kind of stuff. Like you have to know your members that way, because if not, then they're either not going to come back, or they're just not going to attend your class in general because they don't want to have to deal with you as a person. So yeah, no, kudos to him for knowing that and saying it out loud, because I think a lot of us coaches know that kind of stuff, but we don't necessarily put it out there unless we're talking to another coach.
And I kind of had, and again, a very similar experience. Weight loss has been a struggle for me my entire life after I retired from swimming. And that is that I started with my trainer, he was a CrossFit trainer, but I started with him independently at my home for almost 5 months before I walked into a gym. So we built a relationship before I walked into the gym. When you weigh what Ethan and I weigh, and you do have to be treated with kid gloves in a way to make it so you believe that you can be successful. And that's what my coach, his coach have been doing.
And good.
Right. And word choices are very, very important in that. Ken Welchers, it took me 2 classes with a great trainer. Here we are 9 years later. Incredible what that decision has done. Amen, brother.
Amen to that.
So last thing I wanted to talk about, and we probably aren't going to have enough time to dive into it too much, but I was watching Monday Night CrossFit last night with
I need to watch that.
and John. And they did a thing where Claire assigned wrestling personas to CJ and John and herself. And like John was the Ovaltine Overlord, and his finishing move was the Analyzer or something like that, which was was similar to a Goldberg spear.
Gotcha. I could definitely see John spearing somebody.
And CJ was Dr. Durable, and it was twofold because he's kind of fragile and he is a movement doctor, and his was the spine adjustment was his finishing move with and it was like a spine buster.
Power bomb type deal.
A spine buster is different. They've outlawed the tombstone and
for obvious reasons
and stuff, right? Because of But anyway, it was the point of the story is that we have all these people with these crazy personalities in CrossFit, and it goes back to what we talked about with like the Hiller video. There's nobody, like you watch a boxing match or you watch a UFC match, there's almost like a PR campaign to create the character of the fighter in the match.
Well, no, right? There is 100% PR people behind that.
Right. And in wrestling, I mean, they take it to the nth degree.
Right.
But we don't have anybody doing that for the athletes in CrossFit unless it's their own agent or themselves. And I don't even think like the agents even think in that direction, like create the character that this person is. You have characters, and every time we get one, like the whole community kind of like gravitates to that person. Right? Why aren't we making a more concerted effort to use some kind of PR to get to know these athletes and create that persona that can be used in promo videos as they come out on the floor, or be used in social media as they're going to compete in this event? Here's a video of their persona. I just think it's a big miss.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
One of the reasons the NBA took off in the 80s and 90s is they started to promote their players. Instead of promoting the teams or the league, they promoted the Magic Johnsons, the Larry Birds, the Michael Jordans. And then they became the face of the league, and then it just took off.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's Magic Johnson, it's Air Jordan, it's Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. It's Clyde, the Glide Drexler. Every single time they said his name, damn near. And aside from the rest of all the those names and whatnot, but yeah, absolutely, they went away from the Showtime Lakers to yes, these are the Lakers who are here's this guy and here's this guy and here's this guy. Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be hard to do.
No,
I really don't think it'd be that hard to do. Like to latch on to the few who are showing their personality more than others, the Jason Hoppers and the Colton Mertens of the world, right? And or the DBEs, right? Because she's all personality at this point.
Well, I think she's the only one that doesn't need help.
No, I would agree to that.
She already has a persona.
I mean, from the flipping off of the crowd to her dropping an F-bomb live on ESPN.
Yeah, and She is the ultimate CrossFit heel. And in today's world, in a wrestling heel is half loved and half hated. And
100%.
she is that to the perfection.
Yeah.
Like she is loved and hated as much on both sides of the fence. And either you want her to win or you're rooting for her to lose.
Yeah, there's not many people middle of the road as far as Danielle Brandon is concerned.
No. But you look at her popularity on all the socials, on all right, anything she touches. I mean, Jenny's updates probably went through the roof when she was doing the updates of Danielle's life at the gym, right? Everybody had to know what the next piece of the story was.
Yeah.
But
she got her own underwear line, for Christ's sake.
We have all these great athletes, but like, unless Hiller goes out and does 24 hours with them, we don't know anything about them.
Not much. Not much.
Colton's a great example. Colton is a perfect example of how he got attached to the Sevan podcast. He became the pig farmer that became the Iron Hog and then took over the world by taking on all comers and being the ultimate underdog. Right. And that persona has catapulted him into probably being the most popular male athlete in the sport. And the man has never finished top 10.
Everybody loves him.
Right.
I defy you to find somebody who actively dislikes Colton Mertens.
There's always going to be somebody that is like, he gets too much press for not doing enough and, blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be those people. But he's an awesome dude. He is always cool. He's always been cool to me. Always giving me an interview whenever I've asked, all that kind of stuff. And I just think that's the piece that CrossFit is missing. If you want to promote the games, start promoting the athletes. And I think Hiller said that in like a different way, but like, go ahead and like figure out personas for these people. Give them nicknames like the Iron Hog.
Promote them as people, not just CrossFit athletes.
Yeah.
Like the road to the game stuff should not just be them working out. It shouldn't be just a bunch of workout porn. It should be way more like the 24 hours with them, which is how they used to be. FYI, the old road to the game stuff. I got several of them. I bought off of freaking Prime, and it's interviews with them in their kitchen. It was talking to Sam Briggs while she was making breakfast or something like that. Like it's shit like that made you invested, like knowing people. There you go. The email DB has 53,000 views.
Yeah. Because she has a persona.
Yeah.
She has a persona. And because of that persona, people now are invested. And because they're invested, then they want the tea. They want to know more. They want to see
people like her and Colton and I'm trying to think if there's anybody else I can think of off the top of my head before I put this other part out there. They're unapologetically them. Danielle Brandon is who she is, and she ain't give a fuck what anybody else thinks, right? Doesn't matter to her. Colton Mertens is a pig farmer. Runs around pigs all day long, built his own equipment half the time, built his own barn, basically building his house by hand. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about what other people have to say about any kind of stuff.
Katrin, love or hate her, she was the sled dog.
100%.
He had a persona. In the olden days, Rich Froning was Captain America. I know that Chase has stolen that from him. And then you had Khalipa, this guy that just went 100% balls to the wall, out the gate, was going to pass out in the middle of the workout, or he was going to win it. You had characters back then, but there weren't as many of them, so we got to know them a little bit better. We've kind of, and I think the documentaries and the behind the scenes did enough back then to get us pictures of them off the floor. They're not doing that anymore. There's too many athletes. There's too much media out there.
Chris Spieler with his headphones and his iPod. I mean, come on, bro.
I lost it. Boys Interrupted are doing a great job promoting themselves. Need more athletes following their lead. I think they're doing a great job, but if they had the backing of CrossFit to take it that one more step, because you can't give yourself a nickname, you can't give yourself a persona. It's got to be done externally, or it's not. Bro code is you never give yourself a nickname.
No,
never. Right? It's got to be earned, and it's got to be given to you.
100%.
And that. So I think that while the four of them are doing a great job promoting themselves, if CrossFit backed something to give them a persona and like a hype video or something like that, it takes it a step further. Ken, Danny Spiegel does not fall in the I don't care category. You may not care. But there are a lot of people that care about Danny Spiegel.
I think he means that Danny Spiegel doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care.
I don't buy that either.
I don't buy that. I think she definitely 100% cares about her image.
About everything.
Yeah, I think she cares about her image a lot. I do like this from Mark, though. Dan Bailey was featured quite a bit. Didn't really know a ton about him outside of fitness, though. If you want to learn about Dan Bailey, go watch the 2015 and the 2016 documentaries and a couple of the behind the scenes from around that time as well. And you will learn a whole lot about Dan Bailey because he was from when he was living on a boat. They don't really talk about his track stuff too much like that, but like it like he tells some crazy stories about him going camping up in Northern California and whatnot. Like there's some shit about that. I know more about Dan Bailey than I care to know about. The Big Sky stuff with Dan Bailey and Rich. I have a video still saved on my email from Beyond the Whiteboard of Dan Bailey learning how to do a backflip in like 30 minutes because the place that him and Rich were at when they were doing, like, I want to say it was the Big Sky stuff, they made up a workout for him, like whoever they were around, and it had backflips in it. And Rich, of course, knew how to do a backflip, and Dan did not. And they taught him how to do one in about 30 minutes, and they did a workout with backflips in it.
Yeah, I remember like when I learned Dan Bailey lived on a boat and he would lift on the boat. Like that was awesome. But again, the behind the scenes back then did a really good job of it. I don't think they do that anymore.
No.
Right. They've gotten into like a template that doesn't really tell us a lot about the athlete. And it just kind of shows highlight videos of them working out. So Jenny asks, we know Cowboy Scott is what is yours? Well, I mean, the obvious would be the Clydesdale, but I have a gym nickname, but I don't know. My tattoo is all about my gym nickname. And and I don't know. Maybe I'll reveal it sometime.
The only other nickname I've ever had besides the one that Sevan threw on me 2 months ago, whenever that was one of the guys I used to work with called me Bulldog. And then when I was a kid, my mom called me Frog. That's about it. Never happened.
So Captain Steve Rogers got it right. My gym nickname is Pookie. All right. So here's the story. And so my gym nickname was Thor. And it's not for like what anybody thinks. It's not like I was the strongest in the gym. I mean, that was kind of my thing that I did better than most. But they called me Thor because we used to have picnics all the time as a gym. And we would play bocce. And I would always chuck the pin because we played like redneck bocce where you just play in a backyard, you'd throw the pin and then you'd chuck the balls. Well, I would launch the balls and they're like, son of a bitch, Thor. Like, so it was really about my bocce ball playing more than anything. So they always called me Thor, but I haven't gone by that name in a while, and I don't know. I'm not feeling Thorish these days. I just need to get healthy first.
I would imagine if any of those guys saw you from that time, they would probably still refer to you as Thor. Like I feel like once you get a gym nickname, it's pretty well.
Guys that's what they would call me.
100%. Big Daddy.
Yeah, it was not Big Daddy.
Oh, Winter.
Yeah, but we would have. That's what I love about CrossFit and its community. And it is cultish, like, and I know, Jenny's talked about it on her show, and like we would have cookouts all the time. Like all summer long, we would do a Saturday workout and go to somebody's house with a cookout. And we would always play redneck bocce ball.
Up until, members come and go, change, you get like a core group that stays around for a long time, but like even the makeup at our place right now is way different than it was a year and a half ago. But also a year and a half ago, like same thing. Like we would get done with Murph and then we'd all go to somebody's house and go and like my buddy David, they had a brand new pool put in. So like there's plenty of pictures of us. And by us, I mean like it's like some of the 20-year-olds, some of the 30-year-olds, a bunch of the 40-year-olds, and Miss Claudia, who was like 78 at the time or 80, whatever, drinking her Red Stripe with us. And it's everybody over there, all hanging out, all having a couple of drinks, eating, grilling, whatever. We would go to my buddy Jeff's house, who's still at the gym. He's actually a coach now, a whole bunch, even though his house was 30 minutes from the gym, damn near. Like, we're going to have we had Thanksgiving over there a couple of times, Friendsgiving, whatever you want to call it. Less of that now. Just kind of, seasons of life type stuff, but like, I don't see it going away completely. Like we don't have as big of groups, but like we did poker nights at the gym before, which was fantastic. Yeah. Christmas party. We're not having a Christmas party this year, but we are still doing a white elephant. We call it the annual versus bourbon exchange, but we split everybody off into teams of 2, write a couple workouts, like 3 workouts or whatever that everybody can do. Legitimately randomly picked teams, even though the last 2 years I've randomly got picked with some of the other fittest people in the gym, which was pretty awesome. Like last year, me and Blair had it sewed up before the last workout even started. But
Ken Walters, we had a nickname for a spot in our old box. A few of us labeled cut rep corner. They were always top whiteboard. Then when open or in-house comps, they never entered. Yeah, I think every gym has cut rep corner at some point, but we're heading up against the hour.
Yeah.
I have got to get back to work. Breaking news, Phillip Rivers has been signed out of retirement to play for the Colts since they're out of quarterbacks at 44 years old and a grandfather. He will be the first grandfather to play in the NFL since Brett Favre.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
Phil Rivers is a good quarterback, dude.
Well, he was when he was in his 30s.
That's what I said. Was a good quarterback. I have no idea what he's going to look like when he gets out there for a coach. But I mean,
when I think the Colts play, I think I heard a really good defense this week. He could die.
And hey, what a way to go. Doing the thing you love.
All right.
I mean, he's 44, dude.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.
And go buy some Thirdzy.
Go buy some Thirdzy. Use code Jazzy. This dude, Cowboy, is really killing the HRV. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Thirdzy.com/Jazzy. Use the code Jazzy to get 15% off. And we will see everybody tomorrow on lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.